People laughed when Olivia casually cracked her joke at the party. "He's banned from my bed now." The music didn't falter. No one gasped. Most likely, everyone assumed she was just teasing. But a cold shiver slid down my spine. The tone in her voice, the way she didn't glance at me, the quick, sharp exchange of looks with her friends. Something was off. Deep down, I knew this wasn't a harmless quip. I lingered at the drinks table, pretending to pour myself another glass, pretending to ignore the uneasy chuckles circulating near her. Her best friend, Rachel, didn't laugh. She leaned toward Olivia, lowering her voice as if I were out of earshot, and said something that sliced the air between them. "Olivia, you seriously told him that after everything you've been doing?" Her words weren't loud, but they landed like a blade. Olivia stiffened, grabbing Rachel's wrist, whispering something hurriedly, eyes darting toward me, as if checking whether I'd heard. She didn't need to worry. I'd heard enough. My heart pounded against my ribs, yet I maintained a mask of a clueless husband enjoying a harmless gathering. But inside, I wasn't confused. I was calculating, connecting dots I'd ignored for months. Late-night work calls, sudden sleepovers at friends' houses, a phone that now lived face down like it had secrets, the quiet, suffocating distance. Weeks without intimacy. I told myself, marriage goes through phases. Stress builds up. But this wasn't stress. Not anymore. Rachel's expression confirmed it. Truth is often ugly, and her face made no effort to hide it. She pulled her hand free from Olivia's grasp and sighed, the kind of sigh meant for covering someone else's mess one last time. "Look," she murmured, "he deserves to know. You can't hide it forever, you know that." My pulse hammered in my ears. I turned slightly, pretending to admire the decorations, but every nerve was locked on them. One wrong breath, one careless word, and everything could shatter in front of everyone. And that's exactly what happened. Rachel didn't stop this time. She held Olivia's gaze, tired, disappointed. "Fed up? You can't joke about your husband being banned from your bed when you've been sharing it with someone else." My hands went icy. Olivia's face drained, then burned red. "Rachel, stop!" she hissed, clutching her friend's arm. "Not here." Rachel shrugged her off. "Or when he finds out from someone else. When that guy's wife shows up, do you really think you can keep playing both sides forever?" A ringing exploded in my ears. The floor seemed to tilt slightly beneath me. No one else understood the meaning. Some laughed awkwardly, thinking it drunken girl drama. Others drifted away politely. But I heard every word, etched into my mind like stone. Her friend wasn't speculating. She knew. And Olivia's silence was a confession I never wanted, but finally received. I stepped back from the table, forcing my breathing steady. My instinct screamed to confront them then and there, right in the middle of the glowing room full of coworkers. But a calm, cold clarity settled in. If she had betrayed me, I wouldn't break. I wouldn't yell or plead. I wouldn't give her the satisfaction of seeing me hurt. I walked toward them deliberately. Rachel noticed me first. Her expression softened, a trace of sympathy. Olivia swallowed hard, plastering on a brittle smile. "There you are," she said, voice too bright. "We were just talking about..." "About me?" I asked evenly. "About your bed." Olivia froze. Rachel closed her eyes, like she knew this confrontation was inevitable. I didn't shout. I didn't accuse her publicly. I simply looked at Rachel and said, "Go ahead. Finish what you were saying." Rachel didn't answer. Olivia grabbed my arm, forcing a laugh. "Can we talk outside, please?" That's when it clicked. She wasn't trying to shield me from embarrassment. She was trying to shield herself. I nodded, letting her think she retained control, allowing her to lead me into the quiet hallway, where no one could overhear the truth she'd been hiding for months. But what she didn't know was that I already had my own truth ready. The hallway was dim and silent. Music from the ballroom muffled through the walls. Olivia darted nervous glances around, as if the walls themselves might repeat Rachel's words. She folded her arms, attempting to reclaim the confident armor she always wore. "Listen," she started, softening her tone. "Rachel's being dramatic. You know how she gets when she drinks." She twists things, says random stuff. Olivia, I said calmly, I want the truth, right now. She held my gaze for a moment, lips parting like she was finally going to say it, to really say it. But then she blinked, looked away, and reverted to her rehearsed defense. You've been distant lately, she said. You come home tired, stressed, barely want to talk. What did you expect me to feel? There it was. The classic blame shift, the careful attempt to seed guilt. But it didn't land. Who is he? I asked quietly. She stiffened. There is no he. You're overreacting to a stupid joke, she said. You've been sharing your bed with someone else. I said. Her throat worked as she swallowed. Rachel had been honest. It wasn't her lying tonight. Olivia's jaw clenched. Her eyes darted toward the ballroom door, desperate for an escape. Finally, she whispered, Can we talk about this at home? Not here. Not like this. But I had made a decision. This wasn't a conversation for closed doors. This had to happen where she never expected it. I reached into my pocket and pulled out my phone, not to record, not to threaten, but to show her the message I'd received earlier that afternoon. Tell your wife her late-night visits need to stop. My family isn't blind. Olivia stared at the screen, face paling to ghost white. I watched her unravel. Denial fell away. Excuses collapsed. The story she had prepared crumbled into dust. Please, she whispered, voice cracking. Let me explain. I wasn't angry. I wasn't yelling. I wasn't hurt. I was done. Explain. I said, No. I think you've already said enough. With that, I turned and walked back toward the banquet room, leaving Olivia alone in the dim hallway, clutching the truth she had believed would never catch up to her.